Greetings.
Hello everyone, hope you're all having a wonderful day, and today guys we're going to be going over the new offensive rogue aspect that got added into the game and some of the really cool synergies that you can actually get out of this aspect. And the aspect I am talking about is the pestilent points aspect, the aspect that now gives our puncture poison immune on every third cast. I'm really excited to see how people use this aspect inside the season because I reckon it's heavily underrated, and I'm going to tell you why. So I'm going to do this in real time so you guys can actually see it working. So I have Bursting Venoms on. Now Bursting Venoms, whenever we critically strike with a poison immune skill, we have a lucky hit chance to then have a 10% chance to drop a toxic poison pool on the ground, dealing poison damage to the enemies. And then when we stand inside the poison pool, we get no cooldown on our poison imbuement, and it also has no charge limit. Now this is bugged at the moment. I know it's dropping the poison pools a lot more than it should, but if we can see if we can get this to work here, it is really cool that you can just use... See, look, there we go. We already got a poison puddle. And I'm only using puncture here, and we're able to get that out with the third cast of the new offensive aspect, which is really cool because this opens up the window for more insane Uber Lilith boss kills when you're able to drop more poison imbuement on single target and just absolutely wreck them. So this is really cool. I can't seem to get it to work again. There we go. We popped another one out. And the coolest thing is it shoots the poison puddle where the enemy is. So you kind of have like a ranged poison puddle with puncture now, which is really cool. Now, arguably my favorite synergy so far that I figured out with the pestilent points aspect, the new offensive aspect for the rogue, is Noxus Ice. Now, I liked Noxus Ice before, but I just thought it was missing something because only using our poison immune, you wouldn't really freeze enemies because they would pretty much die before you could freeze them unless you were trying to run high nightmare dungeons. But either way, it just didn't feel good. But now every third cast of our puncture is poison immune. We're able to get more poison imbued out on the actual target, which then works really well with Noxious Eyes, because when we're poisoning enemies, if they're chilled, which we are using the Penitent Greaves, we're going to be freezing enemies, and we can do this really quickly. The way I've built this build, I am trying to prioritize a lot of attack speed, so because we have a lot more attack speed, we're able to throw puncture out really quickly, and we're able to get more poison imbued out there, and because any enemy that we're facing is getting chilled, we can freeze enemies pretty quickly. It isn't as consistent as the frostbitten aspect, but it is a lot of fun because now we're applying dots on top of our already decent damage that we were doing. Let's see if I can get this to work. It's going to be a pain in the ass, but here we go. I think these... Let's get... There's the poison one. Alright, they're poisoned now. Let's see if they get frozen. There they go. They get frozen now. See, this poison doesn't stay on the enemies for very long. But there you go. They are freezing. There you go. You can see we are using the boots. We are throwing the poison immune out only with puncture, and we're getting the freeze on now. If we want to increase our attack speed here with twisting blades, we'll have faster attack speed. And as you can see, it's much better when you have quicker attack speed on puncture because we can throw these poison immune strikes out more often, and we can just freeze the enemies more often. And then if we actually do like how I would normally do my rotation and my actual setup, you can see we'll be able to freeze enemies very quickly because we got shared misery, and we're also able to get that poison imbued out a lot more often now, which is really good. I'm really enjoying this build so far and this aspect a lot, and some of the hearts inside of season 1 are going to be absolutely insane for those poison builds. And the ones I'm talking about are the Barber. Critically strikes and all subsequent damage within 2 to 4 seconds is absorbed by your target. Then the absorbed damage erupts onto surrounding enemies. Stored damage is increased by 10% per second. I'm not sure if this is going to work with like damage over time stuff, but it does say just critical strikes and all subsequent damage within 2 to 4 seconds. So if dots apply with this, you're going to be able to build up your normal damage and your dot on the target. It's going to explode. It's all going to go to other enemies, and then I'm assuming that when you then switch targets, you're going to start storing the energy up again, and then they're going to explode, and you're just going to have like some crazy chain explosions. I think you're going to be able to do some insane damage. Now, another one I think is going to be really good for poison builds is the Creeping Death Heart. So what this heart does is it's going to increase our damage over time effects by 30 to 40% for each different crowd control effect on the target. Unstoppable monsters and staggered bosses instead take 110 to 130% increased damage from your damage over time effect. So essentially, if you get a lot of different crowd control out on the enemies, your damage over time is going to be really strong. And then when you go and fight bosses, or even if you're trying to do Uber Lilith or anything like that, you're going to be getting 110 to 130% increased damage over time. That could be really good. And then the other one to look out for is the Vile Apothecary. It is the super one for the rogue, and this lets our attacks have a 5 to 15% chance to apply all imbuement effects at 40 to 50% normal potency. I feel like this is just going to be basically insane for any rogue build inside of season 1, but I'm curious on how it works with the poison builds, the frostbitten rogue builds, because you're able to get like more frost and shadow procs out there, and with the poison build you're able to get more poison, and then you pair that up with the barber heart. Yeah, I think you're going to be doing some insane amount of damage as the rogue. I'm absolutely super excited. And that's basically it, guys. Just a quick little video like showcasing some of the cool synergies you can actually do with the new Pestilent Points aspect. And I'm really excited to see what people do with this aspect inside of season 1. Appreciate all love and support as always, guys. And until next time, stay safe. Peace out.
Goodbye.